What's up, guys? It's John here, National Sports Entertainment. And if you're coming off the Boise video, it aged as well as Macaulay Culkin. But this video, I want to focus on Washington and UCLA. And initially, I was going to reserve the second leg of this sequence, which I think we can admit we're not covering this -6. I think we're on the third string quarterback or something like that. I think the quarterback got hurt or something, and it just doesn't look good. But anyway, I was going to go with the Washington game, but again, there's a reason we only wagered 20 on the first game. A, we don't want too many outstanding wagers, and B, I have a stronger read on the NFL narratives, but that doesn't mean we can't make some money on the college games. So the reason I like the Bruins in this game is the spread again. And again, it's just based off, as you just saw with Boise, it's not 100%. But again, we're playing the overall odds that a team is not going to start off 5-0 against the spread. Again, these things always even out at the end of a year. Your best team is going to be about 83% maybe against the spread. You're not going to have teams finishing. So for that to happen, you have to lose close games where people are going to pick you as a favorite. And Washington is 2.5 here. Looks a lot better on paper, in my opinion. If you look at the passing, if you look at the rushing is about even, but if you look at the passing, they look a lot better. And ESPN the ESPN's got them as 55%. Now, I think, again, people are going to look at the ranking and the fact that even though UCLA is also undefeated, the schedule has not been strenuous for UCLA, and they're going to go with Washington in this game. And again, with the spread being 4-0, I think they fall to 4-1. Now, so we're going to go ahead and pick that one now. And I also want to cover, because I know a few people are asking, again, essentially how the system works. Like, do you just double down until you win? And then if that's the case, what happens if you lose 4 or 5 in a row, etc. So the reason I like this system, and I'm going to do a whole video on it, and we're going to call it the RIG system, because I got it off a random internet guy who he had posted it on a forum. He did it with baseball, but what he did was he extrapolated data from series, and he would essentially bet that a favorite would not get swept in any particular series. Now, he had losses where a favorite would get swept in a series, but that is kind of where the genius of this system comes in, and where he, I think, drew a distinction versus the other variations. He would stop at the third loss, okay? Meaning he wouldn't just keep doubling down and lose his whole bankroll. So you only need to win 7.5 sequences to be able to afford yourself a 3-legged loss. And we, as it stands right now, I believe we won 7 sequences. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've won 7. So essentially 7, you're at almost a draw. Let's just say, hypothetically, which is not going to happen, this is a guarantee. Hypothetically, UCLA does not cover, and then Washington also doesn't cover, right? That would wash with the wins. Then what we do is we can use what I like to call value betting to decide if we're going to do a 4th leg or if we're going to move on to the next sequence. So it's almost like an audible where you adjust it in real time. But in this case, I really do like UCLA here, like I had said. But I wanted to go into the system and why it's not just a standard Martingale double up. We're using spreads. We're looking at the overall, at least I am. I'm looking at the overall games that have been played thus far and the odds of multiple home teams not covering a spread in a row, etc. So I'm going to try and find random internet guys' data, because even though it really wouldn't pertain to now, he really went, this guy must have been like from the future, because he went into such detail, like the 20-year history on all these teams. And that's essentially what I do when I pick teams. But he did it with baseball teams, live time, and I would check the forum every day and watch the guy make money. And he just disappeared one day. And it wasn't because he was losing. Like he had his last live pick had came through, and he was just posting like less and less and less. Maybe he just didn't have time. But yeah, he was. I never understood it, and I tried finding it on Reddit. You can read up on the system on Reddit. You'll see back and forths, very strong arguments on both sides. But not to ramble, just to go on as to why I like this particular system and the way it's handled. So obviously, I feel very confident in Washington Commanders. That is not Washington here. So that being said, we can bet a second leg here on UCLA, having full faith that Washington's going to come through if UCLA is not able to. Now, with 2.5, we placed a bet of 20. This one, it's advantageous to just take the money line. If they win by 1 or 2, obviously that would be devastating. I don't see that happening. If Washington wins by 1 or 2, I think either UCLA wins or they don't. They wouldn't have covered the spread on it anyway, and I think UCLA is going to win this game. So we had bet $21.60, so we're going to want to win back that plus 20. So we want to win $41 here and 60 cents. And as you can see, since we're doing the money line, we're actually getting better juice, which means the total that we've wagered has been $54, and we're only on our second leg. So that's what I'm picking here. And just before I do, let me double check. We never want to be too premature and rule ourselves out of a game. But I know the Boise one I got out like last minute, which maybe is for the best that you guys didn't see it, But okay, so they just started. Boise's looking good. They look like they might make it 13-7. So, they I still don't think they cover by 6 now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait. Okay, we're not gonna place the bet this very second, but this is the exact bet: $34.10 for $41.60. We want to win $41.60. That's the goal. So whatever your juices might change a little bit, but we're not going to confirm it because it's going to throw off everything if we are to confirm it, and God forbid, and not God forbid, it'd be a good thing, but if we are to confirm it and then the first leg wins, it just throws off the system, and I'm very methodical about it. Now, we haven't had a second leg in a little bit, but if you go back to my very first, I think it was a guaranteed system week 3, and you'll see it's Iowa State. We lost the first 2 legs and we won the third leg, and then you'll see what happened and why we picked the games we did. It happened here. I was going to go with Arizona in leg 2. I swapped it to Green Bay. So there's different ones, and that's why I even said in the very first video I put out when the first 2 college games lost, I said, even though it doesn't seem like it, I'm actually happy this is happening. That way, nobody's panicking. You see, at the end of the day, the numbers even out, and with the spreads and all of that, and that's why we're always going to net at the end of the day. So I just wanted to show you that. You can go back and watch those college videos, because literally our first 3 bets, we started off 0-2, and I'm sure a few people might have been nervous, but like I said, with a tried system, that's what I like about it. So yeah, we're going to leave that money line bet in the back pocket, and we're going to pick it to win $41.60 should Boise State not cover. And it's 13-7, so they are literally a touchdown away from being up 1, and then you got the whole rest of the fourth in this quarter. So we might come through here, but I wanted to put the video out because that way you guys aren't scrambling at the last minute to try and pick UCLA. You have some time now to know what we're doing next and what we're going to be doing if there is a third leg, which I don't foresee, which would be the Washington game. So yeah, this has been amended. Like I said, we haven't quite pulled the trigger on the bet because hopefully Boise State comes through for us and we get a nice win in leg 1. Should that happen, we will do a UCLA still will get bet on. Of course, it'll just be in its own bet sequence. It'll be a new sequence because we will have finished out this one. So not to be too long-winded, but I wanted to address a few of the people asking about this system. And like I said, I'm going to do a very extensive video with some charts once I'm getting better at editing, so I'll be able to do a video where I can edit in charts and show you guys the actual concrete numbers. But yeah, so like I always say, happy earnings, and we're going to just watch Boise State. They're on FS1 if you have Fox Sports, so you'll be able to watch them there. And then, should they not come through in either way, we'll be watching the Bruins. So take care, guys, and happy earnings.